Welcome to New Hampshire Politics with John Burt. I'm John Burt. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I can't wait for you to see this show. It has taken quite a bit of time to put this together, and I have a bunch of pictures of my Florida trip that my wife and I took, and I'm trying to think when we were down there. It wasn't that long ago. What's today? Let me check what today is. Oh yeah, it's April. Okay, we went down April 1st. We went down a couple days before, and then we came back after that. So it's around April 1st, 2015. So in 10 years, people can still watch the video, and they know where I am. Some of the pictures I'm going to show you are pretty cool, especially the animal ones. And I do have a few videos. I'm hoping to get time to get to every one of them. And let's get started. And like I said, I was down in Haines City, Florida. It's an hour south of Orlando. And the weather was great. And matter of fact, what I did for you is I trucked a trailer down because a good friend of mine used to live next to me. I kind of miss them. They're good people. They had me go, truck their stuff down. I get to stay at their house. I used my trailer and Richard's truck, so it was a sweet deal. His truck has XM too, so it was really nice driving down there. And we took Route 84, 81, went down through Charlotte, North Carolina. Other than a couple traffic jams, I'll tell you, the weather was fairly good, traffic was good. We had a great time. We took 3 days to get down there, so we weren't rushed. And then on the way back, I'll show you some pictures also of we stopped in just outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and the town is called Intercourse, Pennsylvania. And of course, they had all the bumper stickers and everything, so it was pretty funny, and I'll get to more of it. But let me start off with the first picture of Florida. And it's picture one, and it's of a car wash, a mobile car wash. And when I saw that, I said, I got to take a picture of that. My wife's like, John, what are you doing? You're like a stalker. And I'm saying, no, for one, we're in a public parking lot. I think we can take pictures. I'm just wondering if anybody's doing this in New Hampshire. Because I'll tell you, I bet you them guys make a good living all day. They had a huge tank. I should have took a picture of the back of the van. You can see it squawking a little. They had a picture in the back, or a tank in the back there. And I mean, a pressure washer, the whole 9 yards, and these guys they weren't letting the grass grow under their feet. They were moving. I don't know how many vehicles they can do in a day or what they charge, but that's a nice looking van, and them guys, I imagine they're getting paid okay. So I'm just throwing that out. If you've got a grandson or a son that, is kind of sitting in the basement, hey, throw them out and tell them to go wash cars in parking lots, because I think there's a demand for it. And the thing is there's people willing to pay. I bet you could charge $50. I don't know what they charge, but I bet you people are willing to pay it. Well, let's move on to the next picture. And all this $15 an hour McDonald's, wages that they want, or fast food in convenience stores. This is what it's going to come to. I walked in, what is the store's name? This is in Pennsylvania, and it's Rutter's, I think they called it. And there's a whole mess of them. It's like Cumberland Farms up here. There's a whole fleet of them out there. And this is in Pennsylvania. Every one of them has this. This is what I was told. There's no teller or person taking your order. You just go up, hit the screen, order what you want. Just like that lady, you go pay one person. The time you get back, your meal's all done, sitting there in a bag waiting for you to take it. I'm hearing this is what McDonald's is going to do if they keep pushing for $15 an hour. And, I'll talk more about that on another show. But I just wanted to show you that picture. Well, here's my wife. If you ever gone down 95, everybody has to stop at south of the border in South Carolina. So they call it south of the border because it's just below North Carolina. So, I'm thinking, well, it's in north of South Carolina, but they call it the south of the border. And this is a huge complex. And there's my wife trying to tame that horse down. When I saw that horse, I told her, I said, go over there and get a picture. And she does accommodate me. She does grumble a little. She goes, You take so many pictures, John. But it is pretty funny. She will accommodate my wishes on the picture taken if I, put my frown face on or something. But here's the next picture, and this is up in, it's a bird feeders up in Pennsylvania again. We're up there. We spent, 2 or 3 days up in Pennsylvania. And that was really nice. And these are made by Amish. And I'll tell you, the workmanship is just incredible. I look at that and I go, wow, how do they, they must have the woodworking machines, and, it is really cool. And let me jump to the next one. I almost bought one of these, but, I already have a new mailbox, and, there was a couple other things I really wanted, so I didn't buy it. But look at all these mailboxes they have. And again, the quality is just top notch. This is real heavy wood. They were heavy to pick up. The door shuts properly, the whole 9 yards. It's a really, well put together, and, they're good people out there. The next picture I posted, and here it is, Krispy Kreme donuts. Somebody says they're coming to Nashua. I can't imagine, this is in my head. I'm not a donut fan. I don't eat a lot of donuts, and I've had a Krispy Kreme donut. This was got to be 15 years ago, and it was so sweet. So I put on my Facebook page, I put this picture, and I put the next picture I'll show you in a second, but this is Krispy Kreme donuts right in Florida. We're back down in Florida there. And I did try another one, just a small bite, and I was like, oh, wow, is that sweet? It's just made with so much sugar. I don't know where they get their sugar, but it is sweet. But let me show you the next picture. And this is when they're making them. Off to the side, hopefully it's to your right, where the guy in the blue right next to him, there's a glass wall and there's a guy sitting down in the blue. You can see, I'm sitting right there, and there's all the glaze coming right down, right in front of me. And I'm like, wow. So I grabbed my camera and I took a few pictures, and it's just incredible. But I put this on my Facebook page, and I said, Josh Moore, he's a state representative, a good friend of mine. Josh is a good guy. I put on there and I said, hey, Josh, here you are. You want a couple donuts? and I said, but you're the only one in New Hampshire that's going to be at the Nashua Krispy Kreme donut, if that's where they're building it. I'm almost positive that's where it is. I was shocked on how many people chimed in. And Banfield, she said, John, I love Krispy Kreme. And a bunch of other people chimed in, and I'm like, really? They aren't too sweet? Because Dunkin' Donuts, I can eat most of their donuts, and it isn't bad. But like I said, I'm not a big donut guy, and I don't drink coffee. But my wife, she loves coffee. And wait till you see that picture when it comes up when I get to the Disney section. It's so funny. You're going to love it. But here, I posted on there, and I was wrong. A ton of people chimed in saying how they love Krispy Kreme, and they can't wait till they come to New Hampshire. So Dunkin' Donuts, I'm a big fan of yours, only because of, you're a small business. But I guess you got some competition coming. Well, let me go to the next one. What's the next? Oh yeah, here it is. It's me at Piggly Wiggly, and I want to talk about Piggly Wiggly just for a minute. And where I was coming back from Florida, and I stopped in South Carolina. I should have wrote down the town name, but I forgot to. But I copied it here because I didn't realize, I guess there was a Piggly Wiggly here in New Hampshire. And guess where their headquarters is? Keene, New Hampshire. C&S Wholesale Grocers owns them. And I think, let me see if I have it right here of when they acquired it. It's right here on the back page. Oh, no. Yes, right here. Fleming Companies bought Benson Wholesale, the owner of Piggly Wiggly, in 1978. And then Fleming filed for bankruptcy in 2003. So they bankrupt. And C&S Wholesale Grocers, right over in Keene, and I think they got a big plant in Vermont. They bought the business in 2003, and from what I understand, have done very well with it. But what surprised me is I didn't realize how famous Piggly Wiggly is. And I got a t-shirt, and it has a pig on the front, and it says Piggly, and then on the back, the pig's head, and then on the back it has the butt of the pig with a tail, and it says Wiggly. I did buy it a little bit small because, you know, I'm heading downhill on the weight there. So, you know, I'm doing pretty good with that, you know, the surgery I had. But the current company is, well, yeah, it says right here, is headquarters out of Keene, New Hampshire. Currently, there are more than 600 independent-owned Piggly Wiggly in 17 states. They were the first true grocery store that started. When did they start? Oh, it was founded by Clarence Saunders in Memphis, Tennessee, September 6, 1916. And there was a really cool section in here. Oh yeah, customers at Piggly Wiggly entered the store through a turnstile and walked through 4 aisles. And this is in 1917, or 1916 is when he opened it. And they had over 605 items in his store. 605. I mean, have you been to Hannaford's or Market Basket? I mean, they must have thousands now. But 605, I mean, people must have went in there and went, oh my God, you know, what did we buy? Because before it used to be the mom and pop's, you know, meat store, and they'd cut your meat right there. So it was really interesting how this all came together. And they said that they used to be a huge nationwide. In 1978, they did sell all of their, not in 78, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it's right here, in 1935. They had 179 Canadian Piggly Wigglies, and they sold it to Canada Safeway in 2013. So that's when they started. So, you know, that was a little bit on Piggly Wiggly. I just wanted to show you that because it was just pretty cool, the history, how really they were the first chain grocery store. And so it was pretty neat. Now the next picture is Phyllis. That is one big cow. We're up in Intercourse, Pennsylvania, and what I wrote on my Facebook, I showed a picture, and we're at a Fulton Steamboat Inn. My wife got a great deal for that, $134, I think it was, or $31 for 2 nights at this hotel. And I'll tell you, it looked just like a huge steamboat, and this place was cool. And for $135, whatever the cost was, I mean, it was around that. So I put on Facebook where I was, and everybody, all of a sudden, just they started chiming in, telling me, John, have you gone to Good and Plenty? I said, what's Good and Plenty? And they said, it's a famous restaurant. And I said, well, I guess I'll go check it out. Well, it's Amish food, and this big giant cow is just outside of Good and Plenty. So I was like, and we went in, and I'll tell you, the chicken, and it's Amish cooking. Oh my God, the chicken was so good. One of the downfalls of my surgery, and this is really not a downfall because I'm very happy that I had this. I could have eaten 3, 4, 5 pieces of chicken. I would have gouged myself back when I could eat as much as I want. So I order a 2-piece chicken, and I'm trying to think what I got on the sides. Well, I can't remember now. I almost think it was mac and cheese or potato, and it was good, whatever it was. Oh, and then I got the corn balls there. They fry dough around corn. Oh my God, were they good. Probably I shouldn't, don't tell my doctor, I probably shouldn't have had them, but they were good. I only had 1 piece of chicken, a few corn nuggets, and a little bit of potato, and that was it. I was like, darn, I'd like to eat it all, but I can't. But what was nice, and this is a good side effect of the surgery that I had, I got to bring it home and reheated it in my room the next day and have it all over again. So it was a win-win, really. So it worked out pretty good. Well, the next picture, and this is why we went, is my wife wanted to see the Amish. You know, the carriages and the horses and the farms and how they do stuff out there. And here's 2 of them. This must be traffic jam time, because there's two of them going through a green light, and I guess they abide by all the laws, and they have lights on their carriages. And you know, a lot of Amish, they do have electricity. I guess you can if you want. There are some hardcore Amish people, they still do it the old-fashioned way. But there's a lot of them out there that have stores, and I mean, they drive cars, and you know, they're saying, look, you know, I want to live in the 21st century. You know, we believe in what we believe in, and you know, it's a great system. Now, the next picture that I wanted to show you is, yeah, this one's really neat. Look at the stance of that horse. The way he's coming around there. They were right in front of me at a stop sign. And I think I'm going to show you a video after the next picture of that. I think it is of this horse. In the next picture, it is so funny. Look at my wife's face. This was at a convenience store. And I told her, I said, honey, go up there and I'll get the camera. Because I got that new camera, the, what is it, Nikon D3300. I said, I'll get a picture of you. So I threw her up there because she was like, John, I'm not getting up there, you know, looking like a dork. And I said, come on, you won't. You'll look really nice. And, you know, so I begged her up there, and she did. And, of course, she makes this funny face, and it is funny. You know, I am so blessed to have Phyllis because she is a great sport on all this stuff. Now, I do want to show you a video, and it is of that horse. And let me start the video right now, and I'll show it to you. And it's video 1 is going to be coming up in a second. And let me start it for you. And yep, there it is. And watch the stance of that horse when he comes out. And they stop at the stop sign. And there he goes. Isn't that horse beautiful? Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, you know, just to see that, I was like, wow. You know, the horses really behaved well down there. And then the next picture, this is another good deal that my wife got. And I'm trying to think if she gets them on Hotwire or somewheres like that, but the next picture is picture 13, and it's of the, what is it, Wyndham Hotel. And I got a small video after 4 pictures here that I'll show you, and it's picture 2, or video 2. But the first video, or the first picture, that's the hotel entrance for the offices and other rooms that they have in there. The next picture is me at a cannon, because you're going to see in the video, they used to have, you know, this is in Virginia, I think it is, the Wyndham Hotel. I should have wrote the place down, but it's in Virginia. And see the building off to the right? That's the hotel part. And we were on the top floor, and we had one of the, what do they call those things? You know, come out of the building there in the top, dormer. Yeah, and we're almost all the way to the end. And it was really cool. Now the next picture, and look at the green grass. There's my beautiful wife. You know, isn't it? You know, she's just beautiful sitting there. And look at the flowers behind her. The leaves are almost popped. Down in Florida, they're all out. I mean, they're mowing grass down in Florida. But here's up in Virginia, the flowers are all bloomed, and you know, that was just a beautiful courtyard that she was in. And the picture in the back, I almost think that might be the main entrance, or that could be the building off to the, you know, that's the building off to the side where they have conventions. You know, and that was just incredible. The whole facility was non-smoking, and look at the next picture. It says, thank you for not smoking. And if you look at the bottom, I don't know if you can make it out, but I'll read it to you. It says a $250 cleanup fee will be charged if you smoke in this room. So they're serious. If they walk in there and they see a cigarette, or if they smell it, they're going to charge your credit card $250 because they're going to go right through and clean that place. So they don't really, they don't want to see that. But I'll show you the next video, and it's video 2. And I'll bring it up in about a second here. Let me find it. And what it is, it's me driving out, and I just want to show you. And here you go, right here. Yep. And as you see me driving up, and there's, you know, the flowers, that's where Phyllis was sitting, and you're going to be coming up, and pretty soon you're going to see the cannon. Yeah, there's the cannon there. And then as I drive around, this is a dash cam that I have in my truck, and look at the views. You know, this is in a big city in Virginia. We saw it off the interstate, and she grabbed the room. And there's a big golf course down there. I mean, this thing was huge. And as we drive around, like I said, the buds are all out. You can see some of the leaves, they're popping, but some of the other trees, you know, they're not quite there. The buds are definitely all out, but look at the grass. I mean, I imagine they've mowed it already. If not, they're getting ready to. And there's the entrance, you know, and then there's the main road out there that we drove in. Yeah, so there's the entrance, and I mean, it was just a beautiful, beautiful place. I mean, I could only imagine what that cost to make. But then the next picture, we're down in Florida. I don't know, I should have found out what these birds are. I only have a couple pictures. But here's this one, and you can see his long legs, and he's just standing in this kind of swampy area on the side of this big giant lake that they have, and there's a, you know, it's all protected all the way around. Most of the lakes have houses all around them, but this particular one, they grabbed all the land and they're protecting it. And the next picture is of him right up close, his face. Look at his eyes. Yeah, I wonder if he's looking at me. He's probably like, oh, what's this guy doing? Oh, another out-of-towner taking pictures. That's probably what they're thinking. You know how, like, when, you know, people from Mass come up here and they take pictures of our cows and stuff, and it's like, yep, out-of-towner. Well, here I am down there doing the same thing, and I imagine when I go to Boston, I'm taking pictures of the skyscrapers. They're probably all laughing at me, but. So there's that. Wait till you see the next one. Here's Mr. Turtle. He comes out of the water as I'm walking on this little causeway. Heidi and Richard went with us, and Phyllis was with me. And all of a sudden, I see this big turtle, and it's like, oh my God, look at the size of him. I think Richard found him, and he's trying to get through there, and of course he can't. So he's like, and you can see him scraping a little bit, and, or she, I don't know. Yeah, I almost think it was a she, because she dug up a bunch of dirt, and I think she laid some eggs, and then she buried them again. But the next picture really shows the turtle. Look how big he is. He must have been, well, I bet you his shell was at least 2 feet, or pretty close to it. You know, 20 inches, maybe 2 feet. And his neck is straight up there. And I mean, you know, he's looking at me, I think, and he's like, what do you want? And luckily, on that cool camera I got now, it has a 200 millimeter lens, and that's what I was using. I was quite a distance from him. I wasn't going to get near him at all, because I imagine he isn't too friendly. What's the next picture is? Oh yeah, right here. These are osprey, they call them. And they can, this is a big bird, and they put these dishes, huge dish. I mean, this thing is monstrous on top of this telephone pole. And the reason they do it is because if they don't, the osprey says, you know what, we're building here if you want us or not. So they're going to build a nest there. So, and it was shutting cities down, and, you know, big corridors. So the power company said, oh, look, you know, we need to do something. And I think they're down in Connecticut, too. I think they have an issue with them. I don't know if we have them up this far or not. But down in Florida, they're everywhere. And they can have a wingspan of up to 5 feet is what I heard. I think Heidi told me that. And this bird that's flying in there, he was off to the right of me. So I get out of my truck and I start taking pictures with my zoom lens. Well, all of a sudden, he makes some noise, and then he takes off and circles a couple times, and then he comes down. This must be the young one or the wife. I don't know who, you know, what she is. But he scoops down. They talk a little bit. You can see him looking at me, and they weren't happy that I was there. And I'm way down on the ground off to the side, right next to a main road, but apparently just me stopping. He wasn't happy. So all of a sudden, they took off, and they were flying in circles. So I said, I better move on. So I did. But the next picture is where Richard and Heidi lives in Haines City. This is their development. This isn't, boy, would I say, 10 football fields away from them. I mean, you could walk from their house and go over and see this. And this is Mr. Alligator, and he was big. He must have been, I'm guessing he was a 10-footer, maybe 11. He was a big boy. Yeah, so he was right out there. And then the next, where are we? Okay, the next picture, we're going to be down in Walt Disney. And I think Bart Fromuth that filled in for me while I was gone, I think he showed this picture, and it's Phyllis and Tarzan. I was by myself for a couple hours because I'm like, where'd Phyllis go? I text her and call her, and I got no response. So I don't know what happened, but I guess what goes on in Florida stays in Florida. But there's Tarzan with her, and she's all, and she did say, look how white I am next to Tarzan. And I said, you look all right. And that's his real hair too. Somebody did ask me if that was a fake Tarzan, and he was real. He's moving around. I mean, I don't know why he has that hair, because I don't think real Tarzan has that, but maybe he does. Now, the next picture is of Mount Everett's at Animal Kingdom. I think that's where this was, at Walt Disney. The rest of the pictures are all Walt Disney. And there he is, there's the Mount Everett's in the ride you can see in the back. And I got a closer up picture. Let me see if I have it. I do, yeah. And it's picture 25 is coming right up. Yep, there it is. Oh, there's a ride there too. So I grabbed that. And this is with my camera that I zoomed in on. I'm trying to think how long the wait was. It wasn't that bad, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and that's not bad for a Walt Disney ride. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about Walt Disney too. But it was a cool ride, and I won't give it away because in case you want to go down there, but you're going down through these hoops and jumping all over the place, and of course I'm cool and calm. Don't listen to anything my wife says about me screaming loud. But she was screaming like a girl going down through, and of course I wasn't, but I'll tell you, it shook you up pretty good. All of a sudden, you come around this corner and you go straight up, and they got the rails all busted up like you're going to fall off. Well, then they stop. And then all of a sudden, things really happen. And I might have screamed a little bit there, but I don't want to give it away in case anybody wants to go down. And it was really funny. Now, the next picture, I brought this up a couple times, and this is the sad sack part. I probably shouldn't bring it up because it is a downer. You see that little boy? He's with these three people. There's the mom, on the woman there, and the dad's right next to the boy, and there's the brother. And I'm thinking, really? Can you put your cell phones down for a minute and enjoy Walt Disney? But there they all three of them, ignoring the little kid. And the little kid, he's entertaining himself and just kind of looking off. So if you guys, anybody, I'm not a big cell phone. I use my cell phone a lot. I do. But at appropriate times. When I'm out with my wife, I'm not looking at my cell phone. If I'm out to dinner with anybody, or if I'm talking to somebody, I put the cell phone down. So please do that, because when I see this, it just saddens me. And then the next picture, same way. There's a father and son. And my wife taps me on the shoulder because I was just about to say, and she says, John, shh, 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 shh. I was just about to ask the father if he was texting the son in front of him. I said, you could just talk to the boy if you want. And the boy will probably respond to you. Because I have done that a couple times. I see it in restaurants. One time, this poor father, he's sitting there, and the daughter was with him, and it was on Father's Day, and she's just texting away on her cell phone. And I invited him over to my table. And the daughter did not see any humor in that. And the father, he said, thank you, but I'll stay right here. And then she did put her cell phone down after that. I think she got the hint. So anyways, that's my little pet peeve. The next picture, because in one of the videos, I'll show it to you, and I'll mention this picture again. This is where we were parked once. They label everything. So sections of the parking lot is television 21. That's where we were at the end of, we're only about 10 car lengths in. So I came out at every time we parked somewhere, I would go with my cell phone. because I saw a ton of people down there, and they announce when you get on these these buses, the open carts there that they have, and I guess they call them buses. And they got 300 buses. That's in the papers here. If you get lost, just let us know, and we'll try to find your car for you. And there's people out there going, I have no idea where I am. Well, years ago, somebody says, make sure you take a picture. So that's what I do. Well, years ago, I didn't have a cell phone, so I'd write it down. But here's the next picture. This is Starbucks in the back. And look what my wife's holding, a Dunkin' Donuts, because she says, John, I'm not lowering myself to Starbucks. And I'm not a fan of coffee anyway, so I really don't know the difference. I had one cup of coffee in my life, and it was from a vending machine. It dropped down in 1978. Dropped down, I think it was like 30 cents. And this mud came out, and I took a drink of it. And I'll tell you, it was the most nastiest thing I've ever tasted. It traumatized me at 18 years old. I said, I'll never drink coffee again. I just have no desire. Whatever was put in my head, I just can't get beyond. Yeah, I'll try some, because my wife says, John, there's a lot of good coffee out there. And a lot of people love coffee. But so there she is, a little rebel. And I said, come here, get in front of that sign. I'll take a picture of you. So I posted that on Facebook. Oh, I'll tell you, a lot of people, they chimed in. Oh, they had a lot of fun with that picture. And there she is, being a rebel in Starbucks with her Dunkin' Donuts. It was just so funny. Oh, the next one, because I'm going to talk about, what did I pay to go down? Yeah, the next one is of a menu. Phyllis and I bought 4 park hoppers so we could jump park to park, because there's only certain things we want to see in each park. If we had some kids, we'd probably go to one park all day. But there's only certain rides that we want to ride, and we love Epcot. Wait till you see the videos of that too. But it's 2-day park hoppers, for each of us. So it's 4 park hopper passes, cost $525. I know they have family deals that are a lot cheaper. And they start with the cheaper rates at ticket 3. Well, we only wanted to go 2 days, so we paid full price, $525. I couldn't believe it. It was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. But, worth every penny. I mean, we enjoyed every bit of it. So I posted this picture of the menu on Facebook, and I said, do you think they make any money on their food? And of course, everybody chimed in. I can't remember how many people, but it was a ton of them. Hot dogs with chips, tiny bags of chip. And the hot dogs, yeah, they were okay. I got 1 hot dog. I don't eat rolls anymore, bread. So I just had the hot dog, and I could eat the chips. $7.49. If you want the chips alone, it's $3. What is a hard cider is $8.50. If you want a Budweiser, is $6.75. I almost think, I don't buy beer, so I don't know, but can't you buy a 6-pack for that? I almost think you can. Soda, $3. They do give you a discount for water, $2.75. And then there's some other drink, and I can't make it out on the picture, so I don't know what it was, but it was $3.79. It must have been something. But if you wanted ice cream, you could get a waffle cone for $4.19. When I saw those prices, I was like, oh my God, that's a lot. But now here's the next one. This is of the policeman at Walt Disney, and he's in costume, and he's going around in the old-fashioned. Now, I'm trying to think when the last time I brought Phyllis and the kids down. I almost want to say it was 2005. He had not a real gun, but it was a plastic gun. Look what they do now. They have a banana. They don't let anybody in costume that's 14 above. So if somebody wants to wear a costume, you can't. And they said, while you're on the bus getting to the entrance, they said if your kid has a plastic gun, a sword, anything that we think, even a pencil, if they think that it could be threatening to somebody as a weapon, you won't be allowed in, even if the gun is orange, 100%. So this is what they've done. Now, let me tell you something. When they went through, we had to go through security, and I was told that they have metal detectors. So, I carry all the time, so I left my sidearm, back at the house. Because in Florida, I brought my gun down there because you can carry. They allow reciprocity. So what happened is I left, so now I'm defenseless, hoping they're going to protect me, which everything was fine, but you never know. I get there, and I'm looking, and people are just running in. They're opening up bags, checking a little bit. Okay, go. And there's one metal detector for everybody. They picked this old lady. Could you come here? So it must have been just random. She must have been 70, 80 years old, this older lady, and they had her go through it, and they wandered her down, and then I just walked right by it, and I'm like, okay, good security. And I'm sure they do everything they can to keep us safe, but, if you're going to do it, do it right. But that was funny how I saw the banana, and I'm like, what's the next picture? Oh, yes, Phyllis and I. And look at everything in the back. I'm trying to think if I can explain it. The first couple buildings are real buildings. Of course, I don't think there's anything in them. But the storefronts. But the city in the back, that's fake. That's a big giant billboard. And I look at it and I go, it looks so real. And we're at MGM Studios. They call it something else now, Hollywood something. But this is at MGM Studios. And we went on the Aerosmith ride. That was a lot of fun. Oh, God, that thing just shakes you right up. But here I am, with my wife, and it's a great picture. And then the last picture, and then we'll get to the videos. We're going to start off with video 3 and then go to 6. But the last picture is of Walt Disney, and when I show you the rain video, where is that one? That's video 5, so that's coming right up. But thousands of people were leaving, and I'm thinking, okay, the place is emptying out because it's pouring, but it just stopped raining lightly, and then all of a sudden, Phyllis and I had our umbrellas, or we were dry. We're heading in, and everybody was leaving. And it was just so funny. But here comes the videos. Which one is it? It's going to be, video 3. Whoops. I didn't want to do that. I clicked the wrong button. Let me get out of here. I just hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Yep, right here. Video 3. This is Walt Disney as you enter. Right here, a 3-lane highway going in, and they got several of these. You saw it said, "Welcome to Walt Disney." This is all private property, 100% built by Walt Disney. I mean, it looks like it, it is interstate. 3 lanes with exits, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's just incredible how they can build this. And there's some of the highways. Those are probably private highways or public highways going over. And again, here's another entrance, and they have these everywhere. There's like 5 entrances into Walt Disney from interstates. Yeah, it's just so cool how that happened. And then the next picture, I won't be speaking in this one because, I want you to hear all the fireworks that's going on. And this is at Epcot. And wait till you see this. This is pretty cool. Isn't that something? And they do this every night at Epcot and also over the castle, over Cinderella's castle. So I looked it up, and this was, when did they print this? They don't tell me, but I think it's fairly recent. And I put in, I Googled how much does, do they spend for fireworks? They're estimating, because only the elite knows what they spend. So they were, figuring up what it costs to do this. They said $41,000 to $55,000 every night. That's what they're spending. That is just incredible. $18.5 million a year on just fireworks. It's just mind-boggling. Well, here's the next, what's the next video is, oh yeah, this is the rain one. Wait till you see this, and this is of the monorail. And it is raining, here it is. You see that rain come down? When it rains down in Florida, it rains hard. I have voted against the rail that they want up into Nashua and all the way up to Concord. I keep voting no on that. And because for one, we just don't have the population. The monorail is the only train in the country, this is what I've been told by several people, the only train in the country that does not take a tax dollar to run. It is 100% private money. Now, if you can do that down in Nashua, I say build the train. But they can't. It's going to be tens of millions, if not $100 million a year from us to subsidize them. What's the next video is? Oh, this is a good one. Wait till you see this. This is of the parking lot. And this is at Epcot. And here it goes. I'm going to bring it up. Yeah. Look at the size of that parking lot. And that is just the left side. The right side is already full. And there's the big, the one of the rides that you go into down to Epcot. And that's where the fireworks was. It was just off to the right of where that ball is at night. And you just drive down and there's people everywhere that work. Yep, and they just bring you right in, they pull you right up front. I mean, they are that efficient. I mean, they know how to do it. Yeah, and there he is telling me to stop. Thank you. And on to the next car he goes. And that's what he does all day. Well, for the morning. There are 70,000 people that work at Walt Disney in Florida. That is huge. It's pretty big too. Walt Disney World covers 40 square miles. It's the size of San Francisco. And I mean, it's just huge. And then what's the next? Oh, I guess that's it for Walt Disney pictures. So let me just talk real brief about Walt Disney a little bit. Real quick, every year they sell 75 million Cokes, 13 million bottles of water. Every day there is 210 pairs of sunglasses turned into the lost and found. Every year, this is since 1971, so 1.65 million pairs of sunglasses have been returned. Now on an annual basis, they said there are 6,000 cell phones every year turned into the lost and found, 3,500 digital cameras, 18,000 hats, and 7,500 autograph books. Nearly 300 Walt Disney World buses transport you around. I'm trying to think. Oh, the monorail. Since 1971, the monorail has gone to the moon and back 30 times, round trips, 30 times. Epcot has 31,000 visitors. This was in 2014. They have 31,000 visitors a day. The Magic Kingdom has 53,000 visitors every day. 19 million. They're the number one and number two destination in the United States. Matter of fact, they said in the world, Walt Disney is. Yeah, Universal only has 22,000 and SeaWorld has 12,000 people every day. Just incredible, the number of people down there. Now the next video is of the dash cam. It's real short. I just wanted to show you what it looks like at night because I love this little dash cam. Isn't that something how it comes out? I mean, it really takes a good picture, and it's just sitting right in my windshield. And you know what it does is in case there was an accident or, you know, a red light, if if an officer says, oh, you went through a red light. Oh, yep, that's the end of it there. And I go, no, I didn't. I got dash cam. Which I'm sure doesn't happen much, but, it can. So, I just love my dash cam. Now, my next picture, I really like this one. This is the next video. Oh, what road were we on? This was a cool road, too. I've never been on this. It's called the Wilbur Cross Parkway, and this is in Connecticut, and it bypasses 95. Oh, yeah, look at the truck right there. A big budget truck, and he's towing his car, probably a family moving, and there's this bridge at 11 feet, 9 inches. I have no idea how, where he got on this road, but the exit behind him is probably 5 miles or 4 miles. So, what is he? He's got to turn around somehow, but you saw in the video that you just can't. And it was pretty incredible. Now, the last one I have, and I'm going to be talking over the video, so you'll be just seeing the video, and it's of the Tappan Zee Bridge. Let me bring that up, and let me start that right now if I can. Yep, right here. This is the Tappan Zee down in New York City, just above. They're building a new Tappan Zee Bridge off to the right. This bridge, let me tell you, is 16,000 feet long. Look at the size of that new bridge they're building. And it's Interstate 87 and 287. That's where it covers, and it's 25 miles north. Yep, it says right here, the bridge is 25 miles north of Midtown Manhattan, and that's why they wanted it up there. I mean, this thing was just huge, the bridge, and wait till you see the big cranes coming up. 135,000 cars a day. This was in 2010. This is the report. 135,000 cars a day go over it, and they charge $5 per car. Imagine tractor trailers and everybody else. And that's, now we're on the main part of the bridge. I saw this on History Channel. They said it's one of the worst bridges in the country, and they're real nervous about it falling in. So that's why they're trying to hurry up and build the other one, because they said it would be devastating to New York if this ever caved in. This was built during the Korean War, and I have that. It was built in 1950 for $81 million. That is $796 million today, if the bridge was built today, that same bridge. But it was built out of cheap materials, and they said, look, if we build this bridge this way, it's only going to last 50 years, that's it. And you can see me going down through, and I'm going to go into a toll here. But what was the other sites, the other statistics? Oh yeah, it's just deteriorating. This is the new bridge. They want a rail on it, a train. They're going to put a train and a bus lane. And I'm trying to think where the information, yeah, there's going to be a new rail line on it. In 2009, they awarded the company to build it for the new bridge is $16 billion. How do you build a bridge for $16 billion? I mean, that's just astronomical. And I can't remember how many lanes it's going to have, the new one. Right now they have 3, I think, or 3 on each side, and then they have this, the video's done now, but so what they have is this machine that goes down and moves one lane over, so you have 4 going in on the city and then 4 going out at night. and that's how they do it. And I think the new bridge is going to have 4 lanes each way. Then they're going to have a bus lane, and plus the train is going to be on there too. And I guess that's where the 16 billion is going to come in. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show. I mean, I just had a blast going down there. I really enjoyed driving down there because we took 3 days down and 3 days back. We spent a week in Florida, and we just had a great time. And like I said, my wife is a great sport, just allowing me to kind of goof off and take pictures with her. And so I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next week. Have a nice time. Bye now.